When traveling, you can make a lot of plans. Where you want to go, what you want to see, how long you want to stay. But meanwhile, reality makes its own plans. Plans that you can't foresee. We wanted to transit Senegal in a few days. In the end, we had to stay more than 2 weeks.
So now we just crossed the border from Mauretania to Senegal and we arrived in Sain-Louis.
First, we didn't plan to stay a night in the city Saint-Louis and only wanted to go into town to buy an insurance. But then we fell in love at first sight. This bridge that I'm driving over is connecting the part of Sain-Louis that is an island to the mainland. So Saint-Louis consists of 3 parts. There is Saint-Louis here on the mainland, there is the Saint-Louis Island where the old town is that we're going to, and then you can go over another bridge and that's the peninsula of Saint-Louis that is actually connected to Mauretania. Saint-Louis actually is a super charming little town on the coast, and the hotel we are staying at is the house of a former box world champion. His name is Ziki and he was the first box world champion who was born in Africa. Before the sun could disappear, and even before having our first alcoholic drink since leaving Morocco, we went to explore the city and to see the ocean. So I found a new friend here. Hello, boat. So we're just discovering St. Louis and having an ocean walk, and it's so beautiful. Even though St. Louis is one of Senegal's more touristic towns, the waterfront is not catering to tourists. It belongs to the fishermen and is their workspace. The first gin tonic after more than a week without alcohol. The next morning, we visited a very nice insurance broker to get the Carte Brune, an obligatory insurance for our vehicles that is valid in nearly all West African countries. The insurance broker opened his shop just for us because it was a holiday, and he gave us a lot of advice for the city Dakar, one of our next destinations. It's busy, huh?
So busy. Anybody have no time to salute a person?
Yeah, and St. Louis is much better, no?
No. Saint-Louis is so calm. It's so calm.
So we're leaving St. Louis now, going off to the famous zebra bar, which is an overlander place, and basically every overlander who travels Africa goes there. had some morning at Zebra Bar. The bikes parked in front of the bungalow and in front of the ocean.
Keep dancing with the devil, but he doesn't have a back.
From Zebra Bar to Dakar, and it's like 35 degrees. On the way to Dakar, we unfortunately realized that the clutch of my travel partner was not fixed properly in Mauretania and started to fail again. I always bring spare clutch discs when traveling, but my partner doesn't. In Dakar, there were no clutch discs for the Africa Twin or basically any other big motorcycle available. So we were preparing ourselves for a long stay while waiting for new clutch discs being delivered from Europe. Doing laundry once, and look at that amount of socks. 2 people, 16 pair of socks. That's my bag after traveling in the Sahara Desert. Sand is basically everywhere. Before we could enjoy our stay in Dakar, we went on a bureaucratic mission. We had to stamp our customs document, the so-called Carnet de passage, and apply for several visas. So we are on mission now in a very officially looking building to stamp our carnets here in Dakar. In a cab now. I have all our documents with me. And first visa that we are applying for on our visa journey through Dakar is the visa from the country Guinea, and you have to take care because you always have to say Guinea-Conakry, not to confuse it with Guinea-Bissau. After waiting for 2 hours, our visa for Côte d'Ivoire was denied. We would try again in another city. The following days passed slowly. We had nothing else to do than waiting for the clutch delivery and explore the town. Yes, I'm kind of a Dakar expert meanwhile. Follow me to my favorite places in and around Dakar. I am visiting the artist village of Dakar today, and here are a lot of artists based who work here. Some of them live here. You can go to their ateliers and look at their art and maybe even buy some art. One artist explained how his amazing bronze statues are made.
Plaster. After plaster and fire.
And this artist makes so beautiful statues that I had to buy one. Fingers crossed that the Senegalese post office is reliable when sending it home. How long you have been in Dakar?
I wish I was worship of the center of attention. But
We're now spoiling ourselves a little bit here in Dakar. We're going to a restaurant. It's called Restaurant Lagon Nr. And supposedly we have the best seafood in town.
posting pictures, trying to be someone I'm not. It feels just like I'm lying to you. I fake it, stage it, trying to live some perfect life. I know I'm wasting time, 'cause I just want.
Welcome to Monica Surf Camp.
So I'm at the beach in Senegal now and trying to surf today. I was just surfing for the first time in Senegal. Here, right in the city center of Dakar, you can catch some waves. So I'm now at the Marché HLM, and I'm trying to buy some clothes and fabrics because I want to make some clothes here. And this should be the best address, so come with me.
The colorful patterns you see on all the fabrics are African wax prints. They are omnipresent and common materials for clothing, especially in West Africa.
Now we're here at the tailor, and he is helping us with making decisions. I'm going to the so-called Île de Gorée, island of Gorée, very close to Dakar here in Senegal. And this island has a very sad history, but as well a very important history to remember. So I'm gonna show you around. Join me for the tour.
The island of Gorée was a hub for the transatlantic slave trade. The House of Slaves was used as a prison for the slaves before they were shipped across the ocean. Families were separated, children were left all by themselves in a tiny cell. Many people died before they even entered the ships. The last thing they saw of their home continent was this door of no return. In my opinion, you never get to know a foreign city if you don't go where the locals shop their food. In case of Dakar, this is actually a big pleasure. Its colorful, vibrant food markets are just wonderful. Thank you for joining the journey to Dakar. In the next episode, we will finally leave the city and explore more of Senegal. From baobab trees to the secret salt pools of Palmarine. Leave a comment if you like this episode and give me a thumbs up.